Programming languages are cool. They allow us to write computer codes in simple human-readable format, like public static void main string arguments. Now there are a number of programming languages out there. Some are easy to code in, some are nightmares, and for some, you don't even understand what's happening. But no matter how different the languages are, there is one common thing in all of them: the Hello World program. These are the first lines of code that typecasts you from a boy to a programmer, and it marks the day where you start sharing programming memes. So today, we'll go on a quest to look how different languages write Hello World and find the language that makes it the longest to write the easiest program. Starting with the languages that allow shortest amount of code to write the Hello World program. No, it's not Lisp or Python, it's the joke programming language HQ9+. HQ9+ supports 4 commands. You guessed it right. These are HQ9 and plus. Plus increments the accumulator variable, 9 prints the lyrics of 99 bottles of beer, Q is used to print the program's source code, and H is used to print Hello World, making it the smallest Hello World program. Following this comes another isolang ///. This language's only operation is to repeat string substitution. For example, /foo/foo bar substitutes foo with foo bar. Now if you print the word using /foo/foo bar/foo, it prints foo bar and repeats the substitution onwards like foo bar bar, foo bar bar bar, foo bar 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 bar, and so on. But another way could be /hello/world/world/hello world hello, which replaces hello with world and world with hello and finally prints hello world. Next to our list are 3 actual programming languages: MATLAB, Lisp, and the all-time favorite, Python. Hello World is pretty straightforward in these languages: disp for MATLAB, format for Lisp, and simply print for Python. Time to increase the number of lines in our program. Presenting the most famous isolang, brainfuck. Made with the goal of having the smallest compiler possible, brainfuck is one interesting language. Now we know how it works. This is the code of Hello World in brainfuck. This code changes the cell value like this, and you can use the cell 2 to print H, reduce the cell 3 value to 101 to print E. Similarly, you can use the cell 3 to print L, L, and O. For space, you use cell 5 containing 32, cell 4 to print W as it is 87, use cell 3 again for W, O, R, L, D by changing respective values. Finally, new line from cell 8. There are many isolangs that works on the principle of brainfuck, making the code even more complicated, like OK. The Hello World code of OK is this. Next in line is another fun language, Arnold C. This language is made up from only the dialogues of Arnold from his movies. To print, use
talk to the hand. I lied.
For false,
No problemo.
for true,
But why should I?
Because I'm going to say, please.
for if,
Bullshit. Bullshit. It's showtime.
for start of main function,
You are terminated.
for the end of main function. This language is fun and the Hello World looks like this. Following comes the languages with functions and header declarations. Here comes the mother of all languages and frustration, C and C++, and here are the Hello Worlds. Well, how about adding a class to it? Presenting the Java code. Java also has an isolang inspired from it and attempts to make it even more complicated by removing stuffs like for, if, while, do while, switch, and ternary operator. So how do you code then, you might ask?
Good question. You are a good question.
Well, there is one other way to control the program flow. Yes, you guessed it right. No, you did not. It's the try-catch statement. What an absurd concept. But it works. A simple if statement in Java GNI looks like this. Continuing the pattern, how about adding a namespace to your code too? Here comes C# with the Hello World like this. As we are nearing our winner, I would like to add an honorable mention of the Hello World program. This is not a programming language like others, but who does not know HTML? If you have made this part of the video, either you know it or you're just very free or in the bathroom while the phone is running on loop, maybe. In any case, please subscribe. And here goes the Hello World of HTML. Now we reach the final levels of difficulty. We'll see the biggest Hello World programs, and coming at number 5 is the nightmare assembly language. While most of the new programmers will never work in it, only a few are lucky enough to witness its beauty. And by the way, I've created my own programming language inspired by assembly. The link would be in the description or the menu above. And here is the hello world code in assembly. At number 4 is another isolang that is probably only usable to Sheldon, presenting integral. Yet another brain fog inspired isolang. Integral does it in a bit of nerdy way. Like programming is not nerdy enough. It has given indexes to all the operators in brainfuck starting from 1 to 8, and when the program is run, the integral of all the polynomials are taken and the coefficient of each term is used to indicate the brainfuck operator used. If the coefficient is greater than 8, its modulo 8 is encoded. For example, 12 would be encoded to 4, and the coefficients of 0 are ignored. Here is the code for Hello World. At number 3 is white spaces, by far the most annoying language in this list. As the name suggests, the only valid tokens in this language are white spaces. Rest all characters are ignored by the compiler. So there are 3 acceptable characters only: the space, the tab, and the line change. Using this, different commands are generated like tab and line feed for input output, space for stack manipulation, tab and space for arithmetic, line feed for flow control, double tab for heap access. Similarly, we can write the hello world like this. This is the syntax highlighting of the language, where spaces are in blue color and tabs are in red color, and line feed is portrayed like this. At number 2 are 2 languages, Chef and Shakespeare.
What is that?
The concept of the languages are almost similar. Chef aims to generate code that can make both recipes and actual working code. This is the Hello World program with the chocolate recipe. In Shakespeare, the code is written like a play. This is a Hello World program with a whole act. If you compare it with the first language, it's already pretty big.
That's what she said.
But the number 1 in the list is the one with the most characters, and that is the most complicated language till now. Before we jump into our number 1, we have an honorable mention, Pete. Pete is the most different language in the list. Instead of words or symbols, Pete uses colors to write code, and each program looks like a painting of its own. And the winner is JSfuck. According to its website, JSfuck is an esoteric and educational programming style of JavaScript. How educational is it? You'll see. JSfuck takes the advantage of the JavaScript interpreter to create a new way of writing JavaScript code using just 6 characters, plus, exclamation, round brackets, square brackets. By combining these characters in different ways, you can write any code in JSfuck. For example, exclamation empty array returns false and exclamation empty array returns true. Plus exclamation empty array gives 1, and repeating this can give you any number, like plus exclamation empty array 3 times gives 3, plus empty array gives 0. By using the string conversion property, you can cast true or false to a string true and false, and then use the indexing to reference any letter to get it, and its complexity increases from here on. If it seems interesting to you, here's a video from a byte of code that will explain JSfuck to you in a much better way. And finally, here the JSfuck code to Hello World, the biggest and the most complicated among the list, using a total of 16,383 characters. So this was the list of Hello World programs from smallest to the biggest code. Do you know any language that writes a larger Hello World? If so, do let me know. That's it for today. We'll see you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.